Knock, knock, knock.
Yes,
Hi, my name is Elvis Egbe. Um, I'm your nurse for today. Uh, my reason for being here today is to do an assessment, a respiratory assessment. I'm going to be listening to your lung sounds, moving down from your posterior part of your body to your anterior part, going to the various intercostal spaces to listen for the different various sounds. And for this procedure, um, we'll be needing a pulse, oximetry, a stethoscope. I'm going to start by first asking, what's your name?
I'm Shulatakang,
Okay, can you identify me your date of birth?
11194.
Okay. Do you have any allergic reaction?
No.
Okay. If that, so we're gonna start by, can you please sit up for me?
Okay.
Okay. So with that being said, with this procedure, I'm gonna be basically checking your thorax. I'm gonna be checking your upper body, chest, left to right, and then we're gonna do some auscultation with a stethoscope from your upper chest down to your lower chest, and then from your back, upper back down to your lower back. So looking at your thorax, it looks smooth, symmetrical. I can palpate a little bit. I don't feel any lumps or anything. It looks straight. Okay, I'm gonna look inside your body. Look at the surface of your chest.
Okay.
Okay, so the chest looks smooth. I don't see any skin lesions, no bruises. Give a little palpation. Do you have any pains?
No.
Okay, I don't feel any lumps either. So looking at your back, it looks smooth and shiny. No skin lesion, no bumps. When I pipe it, I don't feel any tumor, anything so far. All right. So I'm gonna start by taking your pulse.
Okay.
Let me see your finger. Okay. So this one is basically I'm trying to check your oxygen saturation.
Okay.
Okay. So your oxygen is 98%, which is really good. So there's no tissue perfusion, which means like stopping any oxygen going to the various part of your body. So that looks okay.
Okay.
All right. So I see your lips looks red and pink. It's not bluish, purple or anything. Let me see your nails. They look pink. I don't see any bluish, any sign of cyanosis due to any shortage of oxygen. So that looks pretty much okay. All right. So I'm gonna start with your anterior part of your chest. So we're gonna start from your clavicle uh, down just below your clavicle, which is the second intercostal space, like clavicle down. So first and second intercostal space down to your third, fourth, fifth intercostal, and lastly down all the way down to your chest, which is your sixth intercostal space. And while I'm doing that, we're gonna be listening to different sounds, which is like your bronchial sound. We're gonna listen for your bronchial vesicular sound, and then we're gonna listen to your vesicular sound. So for your bronchial sound, that can be heard at the anterior part of your trachea, like right here, and it can be it's a high pitch and a low pitch. Um, and then next you're gonna look for the bronchial vesicular sound. which is heard at the anterior part of your chest and can be heard at the posterior part of your chest. And lastly, it's going to be vesicular still, which is held in both anterior and vesicular. So I'm going to be using my stethoscope and put in my ears, and then I'm going to take the diaphragm, which is the bigger part.
Okay.
I'm going to be touching in some spots while I go down, and then when I put each time close to your body, you're going to take breath in and breath out while I listen.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So I ended with the part which I was about to listen for your lung sound. So we start with the anterior part, which is this part of your lungs. So the right side of your lung has 3 lobes and the left side has 2 lobes. So I'll get my stethoscope, put it in my ear. Each time I put the diaphragm on your body, I'm gonna have you take a deep breath in and out.
Okay.
Okay, just below your clavicle, I'm gonna put right there, like your second intercostal space, not on top of your clavicle. Can you take a breath in and out? Okay, I'm gonna go across and do the same. Okay, so I'm gonna go down a little bit, midway inside of your body, which is like the third and the fourth intercostal. Take breath in, out. I'm gonna go across. Breath in, out. So I'm gonna keep walking my way down to the feet 6. Breath in, out, in, out. Okay. Breath in, out. Breath in, out. Okay. I don't hear any abnormalities. So your broncho sound, which is heard at the anterior part close to your trachea, which was the first sound I did, was right here. So it sounds pretty good. And secondly, we got to move to the posterior part of your back. So we're going to start from your C7,
Okay.
C7, moving down to T2 all the way to your T7 to your T10, listening for your lung sound. If you don't mind, can you please turn on your side for me?
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna start at your posterior part, which is starting from your T7 down to T3, which is the from T3 to T7, which is your upper lobe of your lungs. Breath in, out, breath in, out. I'm gonna move my way down to your from your T7, from your T3 down to your T10. Breath in, out, breath in, out, breath in. Okay, I'm gonna continue to your lower lungs, which is from your T3 down to your T10, right down here. So you're gonna do a breath in, out, breath in, out, breath in, out, breath in, out. Okay. All right. I finished listening. So I started with your upper lungs at your posterior region, which is from C7, moving my way to T3. I was listening to the bronchiovesicular sound, which was heard, and that was okay. And then moving my way down to your T3 down to T10, I also heard the vesicular sound. And I just want to give a little education about it. Okay, I just finished doing a lungs assessment, listening to the various sounds. So I'm gonna go down talking about some abnormalities you can find. So firstly, you can have a high-pitched polynomic wheezing sound during like expiration, and it sounds musical. It's like kind of a musical sound. You can also have a low pitch monophonic sound, phonic wheezing sound, or a ronchi sound during expiration and inspiration. And also you have another sound like the stridor head during inspiration, um, when you take in air like that. Also you have the coarse crackle, which is also an abnormal sound here during inspiration and expiration, and it's a low pitch. And the coarse crackle, you also have a fine crackle, which is a high pitch sound. And lastly, you have a pleural friction, which is a sound heard when you have your lungs, they like kind of like rubbing. It's like kind of like a friction rubbing to each other. So those are the various kind of abnormalities I've checked so far. I don't see any abnormal sounds heard. I did not get any abnormal sound when I listened to your lungs, both the anterior and the exterior. So just to give a rundown for all what I did. So I started checking at your anterior and your posterior. The lung has 3 lobes. The right side of your lungs has 3 lobes, and the left side has 2 lobes of the head, of your chest. So posterior part of your chest, it has starting from your C7 to your T1 down to your T7. So I listen for your sounds from your um, C7 to your T3, from the T3 to the T-town, and the bronchial vesicular sound is heard at T3 and T4 on the posterior region, and then down to the C T3 to T10. I had the other abnormal, I mean the other normal sounds. So, and then your anterior region of your heart, um, going to your upper lobe of your lungs, which is the second intercostal of your body, and then moving down to your third intercostal down, you have the midway, which you have the second lobe on the right side of the lung, and down to the sixth intercostal down. On this side, you have the third section of your lungs on this side, and the other side on your third, fourth intercostal, you have the second part of the lungs. So I did listen from top to bottom. I had a bronchial vesicular, I had a bronchial sound and a vesicular sound.
Okay.
All right, so is there any question for me?
Not any.
Okay, if there's nothing else, then thank you.
Okay.